Hey, it's Lily, welcome back to another video, or hello if you are new. I am so excited to be starting this series on my channel. I don't even know where to start in talking about this zoo and the series and my general history with Planet Zoo, because I don't actually have a lot of Planet Zoo videos on my channel. But I have, at the time of recording this, over 2,500 hours in the game Planet Zoo. All of those are in sandbox mode. I've literally never even opened franchise mode or the story mode, whatever it's called, the challenge mode, I don't remember. I've never opened any of those things. I only play in sandbox. And to date, I have never finished a zoo. And that is about to change with this zoo. And I'm so excited because I feel like I finally found my sort of groove in building. And, you know, it only took 5 years and however long 2,500 hours is. I could do math, I'm not going to right now. So yeah, here is the zoo. That is about 2/3 done at the time that I'm recording this voiceover, which is December 12th. I was really hoping to have this whole zoo done by the time I was ready to do a soft relaunch on my channel, but unfortunately I just had a lot of things come up, you know, and also Planet Coaster 2 came out, and I sort of spent some time in November playing that. I am now getting ready for the holidays, and I barely have time to sit down, so I'm not playing any Planet Zoo currently, which is probably why I will finish that zoo probably early next year, I think. Just maybe in January. It's not too far from being finished. I just was hoping to have a full zoo tour for you to start this series, but it's not gonna happen. So here's the first episode of the speed build. I started this zoo in January of 2024. So at the beginning of this year, I've been working on this zoo for nearly a year. And I am so happy with the way it's been turning out. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like I finally found a sort of method of planning and making zoos from start to finish that's actually working for me, because before, I think like a lot of people, I would start zoos and I would build them and then I would just kind of give up. I would want to start a new zoo, and I didn't do that this time, and I'm very happy. I did in the middle of the year start a new zoo though. I visited Boston for a long weekend, and I went to the Franklin Park Zoo, and I had a lot of fun walking through that zoo. And I was thinking the whole time that I was walking through, man, I really want to build this zoo in Planet Zoo. And so yeah, I have been working on that. I'm a little bit of the way through. I kind of work on it when I need a break from the zoo because it's very big and it can be a little overwhelming when I get into it. I tend to build things way too big, so this zoo is nearly the entire map. I don't remember which map I picked. I don't know. It's the one with the mountain and the kind of river flowing through. I don't know if you can see it in this video, but you'll see it shortly, and I'm sure those familiar with the game will know which map this is. So my idea for this zoo, basically, is it's a resort. It's a full resort location. It has a hotel. It has rentable little villas. It has all the things that a typical resort would have. So I haven't built this part yet, but there is a golf course that's gonna have the P-Falls on it. And there's a concert venue, which I've already built. There is, what else? There's a wedding venue. I haven't built that yet. It's going to be an indoor room with the backdrop being the polar bear exhibit, but like under the water, so hopefully polar bears will swim through your ceremony, which I think would be neat. I know there's something similar like in some aquariums and zoos that have sea lions or dolphins or something. There's like these giant rooms that have the underwater view and people can rent them and get married, and I was like, that's amazing. I want to put that in a zoo. There's tons of restaurants. There's a whole lemur house. Let's see what else. There's a spa, the capybara spa, which I had a lot of fun building. It's very cute. I like it a lot. There's like a kids center, you know, when parents don't want to do with their kids on vacation and they just send them to the day camp, which you can do at like Disney and a ton of other, you know, bigger resorts. There's always options for the parents to just let their kids do their own thing and the parents do their own thing, so I did include that. I built like a whole playground and a little arcade and a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. Did I mention the restaurants? Yeah, I just tried to make this a really cool place that you would spend maybe a weekend or, you know, some event. Like if you're getting married, you get married at the zoo and then you have all these other things. You can go to the spa and the groomsmen can go golfing or whatever. That's a stereotype, but you know what I mean. And so the whole purpose of the zoo is to look fancy. So it's gonna have a lot of white, a lot of natural wood. The animal exhibits are huge. The other side of it being this fancy resort is that you pay a lot for it, but you pay a lot because you get these really interesting experiences with animals, and you know that your money is going towards good conservation efforts. I also I kind of thought of it about halfway through, but I have been trying to make sure that all the animals in this particular zoo are like critically endangered or on the more extreme end of their conservation status. So the ones that would definitely need more, you know, zoo effort. And so, you know, people can come to this zoo and feel good about spending a ton of money on a vacation because they know in part that it's helping conservation efforts. So what I'm building right now is sort of the entrance, because I also imagine that this can be a place that you can take a day trip to. It's just not as fun if you can't kind of experience everything. But you know, it has a concert venue, so I'm sure there's like nighttime events or whatever, weekend events that people not staying at the venue would, you know, travel and just come to for the night or the day or what have you. So it does have just a regular zoo entrance. Right now I am building a cobblestone pathway. Oh, it's supposed to look like that, you know. I don't even remember what piece this is. I think it's like a roof piece or something of the nature that I flipped upside down, and it turned out okay. I did leave it, though it's not my favorite thing that I've ever built. I don't know, it got a little messy. It was hard to line up and the ground wasn't perfectly even, so it looks a little wobbly. It would be a huge tripping hazard actually if it were to exist in real life, but it looks nice enough, so I did end up leaving it here. But yeah, this is just the sort of front building. It's got the place you would buy tickets, it's got a little gift shop souvenir shop, sort of. It's actually an information shop, is in terms of the counter, but it's kind of framed to be a mini gift shop. And then later, I think I started in this episode, but mostly it's going to be the next 3 episodes or so, I build a huge hotel right nearby. And that is meant for, you know, a majority of the guests to stay at. I didn't want to go crazy with the height of it and whatnot. I may change that later. I don't think so though. I kind of want to just, this zoo is huge, so whatever I can do to kind of cut back on the amount of pieces that I have in this zoo, I'm gonna stick to that, because clearly, as you can see with this cobblestone path, I like to build with a lot of pieces. In terms of actually, there's only 6 visible rooms in the hotel. We're gonna pretend that it's a huge hotel that most of the guests stay at, and it has also a huge gift shop. It's got a bar downstairs and kind of mimics like an open hotel restaurant. You know, they always have one sort of off to the side. It's got a huge swimming pool and a hot tub that I really liked how the hot tub turned out. I was pretty proud of that. You'll see it soon. And I think that's about it. I don't know. It's decorated. It's got couches galore and a huge curving staircase that unfortunately did not end up being as functional as I thought it was going to be. So originally when I built this zoo, my plan was to have the spawn point and the entrance be on the top floor of the hotel, and that guests would kind of just walk through these fake hotel room doors as if they're coming from their room and going down into the lobby of the hotel and then into the zoo, and I thought that would be cool. Unfortunately, it seems my game at some point got a bug in it, like an error code, whatever, for the spawn point that I put down, because no matter what I did, I could not actually get the guests to go through the gate, the entry gate. And I did a ton of research. I spent probably 2 days trying to fix this bug, and it just didn't. My research, it just said some games just get this, and I ended up, for whatever reason, when I put the spawn point and entryways somewhere else, it was fine. It was just like this set of pathing was bugged, but I couldn't delete everything because I had already built around it. And you'll see when I do this staircase, that took me so long. I cut most of it out. But this curved staircase, I have it completely enclosed in like wooden planks that are decorative. And unfortunately, I could not delete that pathway and have to redo all of that, because the rest, my whole hotel is kind of built on the centerpiece of the staircase, and it was just going to be a nightmare to try to redo. And so I decided in the end I just would put the spawn point, you know, I just hid it kind of on the main floor of this hotel that I'm building right now. It's sort of off to the side, and people come through the elevator, I think is what I had them morph through, and then they go into the zoo. So it's not as cool as I was hoping, because I really wanted the visual of the guests actually using this workable path staircase that I put. That's why I made it, so that I could have guests coming down the spiral staircase as if they're actually coming from their hotel rooms. But alas, it did not work, and so I adjusted, and that's okay. And now here we are. So I I had this idea for this hotel is very architecturally distinct. It has a lot of arches and whatnot, and I do have a reference photo, and if I remember, I will post it on the screen here in a way that's not obtrusive, hopefully. And so this is kind of what I was going for, if you can see it. But yeah, I just really liked the idea of it being very unique. I don't want to get stuck in building square buildings all the time, because that tends to get very blocky. And so I do use a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. And that's kind of how I decide how my zoo is gonna look. I usually just find one or two photos that I really, really like the aesthetic of, and then I build my zoo around that. And so I think actually this hotel was one of the first things that I saw on Pinterest, and I was like, I love that. I want to build this in Planet Zoo, even though it's very complicated, and these limestone pieces are the death of me sometimes with they have a rim around the arch. Like, very annoying when the pieces underneath it do not also have that sort of bulky rim. So you can see me trying to work around that every time I have to use those arched pieces. But in the end, I love how this hotel turns out. And I'm not sure, I haven't decided yet if I will put any kind of final shots in these speed builds, but I think probably not, because it's going to take me several episodes to build this hotel. And so certainly in this episode you will not see any final shots of the zoo. If I do that in the episodes, it's going to be later on, because I take a long time to finish some of these buildings. They just had a lot of details that I sort of can only do so much of at a time. It's very taxing to try to use the same pieces over and over again in a clever way to make your ideas work. So yeah, that is why this suit has taken me nearly a year. It will be more than a year when I actually finish it, but yeah, we're getting close to the end of the video. So I just want to quickly talk about what I am expecting from this series. I have no idea how long this series is going to end up being, but I'm hoping I can cut it to around 30 episodes. So that's what I'm going to aim for. I already have 10 episodes cut. I just have to do the voiceover for them, and then I can, go through the process of uploading and scheduling them. So there should be episodes coming out regularly. I'm planning to release one probably I think twice a week is my goal. And then I will also have some content for other games like The Long Dark. I really want to get back into Age of Origin, or Dragon Age Origin, that's it. Because I played like one episode of that and I really liked it, but I never continued. So yeah, there will be other content besides Planet Zoo content on my channel, but this is going to be the focus for me for the most part. I will very likely have 2 videos of Planet Zoo, 1 video of another game, and possibly 1 game of Planet Coaster, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to fit in with that game and also playing Planet Zoo, because I just have to take so long to build things in those games in order to make speed builds. So not really sure how that's going to play out, but at least 2 Planet videos a week and at least one more of something else is my goal. And I've got a lot prepped already, so hopefully I will have no interruptions in my schedule going forward. For the zoo in particular, like I said, about 30 episodes, and I might do a few other videos with this zoo. I've been thinking about definitely a tour video, obviously. Once it's done, that'll be part of the speed build series. But I've also kind of been playing with some other ideas about some fun content that I kind of want to make with Planet Zoo. And then I do want to do some sort of mini zoos and mini theme parks that are themed together in Planet Coaster 2 and Planet Zoo. So I've already got kind of one in mind that I'm looking around for inspiration for and whatnot. That'll be probably like a New England, is in New England, US, which is the northeastern part of the US, like New York, Boston, Massachusetts, a little bit down the coast. It does extend, and then up through Maine. That's all New England territory in the US, and it's got a very fun, like, coastal vibe, light colors, it feels very homey to me, probably because I'm from New England, but I don't know, I like the vibe of these coastal New England towns, so I think I'm gonna do a small zoo and park dual series where I build in that style and make a little maybe beach resort and beach zoo type of thing. So yeah, I have a lot of content coming up on the channel, especially if you're interested in Planet games. It's gonna be, like I said, probably my focus for the most part, with some other games sprinkled in as I enjoy playing them. So we've got about 4 minutes left. I thought I would have more to talk about in this first episode because I was so excited to be back recording this. I hope you can't hear the wind. It's very windy today. But yeah. Well, I think I'm just gonna end it early and you guys can enjoy some Planet Zoo music. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and I hope to see you in the next video.